Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Mist Plays Minecraft. It's a really big deal. If you don't believe me, well, then I guess I really have no way to convince you. But I assure you, it is a huge deal nonetheless. So, last time when we left you off, I had this awesome little castle thingy made, and it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's pretty fucking bitchin'. If I do say so myself. So, let's get started on putting up some goddamn walls on my castle, because, you know, we need, like, outposts and stuff. We need to, like, oh god, game lag. Hello, game lag. Why you lag? So, what has happened since last time, we were on this adventure? Well, I broke a lot of beaver chuckers, as you saw in the last episode. We also have some inquiries. I notice a lot of you may be watching Hillbeast's Minecraft series. Hey, check that out. Definitely going to put a link right there, up here in the top. If you look over there, there should be a link. Yeah, that's not an endorsement from our own channel. But Hillbeast has been doing his series, and I want to kind of take it back a little bit here. He kind of gave me an idea to answer some of the questions that people might have been having at this time. Now, I'm going to be answering questions from both of our videos and also on Clannad in general. And one of the many questions that we get pretty often is, why is it taking you guys so long to release episodes? Good question. Well, I believe Mark already explained it in the previous video about how pretty much it's a challenge to get everybody all together and his work schedule and everything just to do the episodes. We've always had questions of like how we make the episodes and why we can't just switch things up. Well, here is how we generally do it. Basically, Mark makes the episode. Mark's the one who edits the episodes and he writes the original script. My job is I oversee the script and such, and I try to modify it and stuff to make it a little bit funnier. Because sometimes a joke just won't come off right. Like sometimes a joke in your head sounds better than it does when you say it out loud, and then you just get that embarrassed look on your face and wonder why you're the only one laughing. Anyway, but basically, what ends up happening is, sometimes a joke just won't be funny enough, or a joke will be too long, and it's raining. And we've got to basically try to make it funny to as many people as possible, and we have to consider also that, although we do make fun of America a lot, the reason why is because most Americans have gotten to the point where, they've gotten used to people making fun of them, and, like, they make fun of themselves. And we got to try to make our jokes, like, apparent, like, we've got to try to make them relevant to our audience. And since a majority of our audience, like, are Americans, we have to sort of cater to that a little bit. But that's not to say that, we only make jokes about America and stuff. It's just, we try to cater to our audience, and it's difficult sometimes. Actually, I want this to be taller. But basically, my job is more or less kind of it's partially localizing it, and then of course I do the voice acting for Nagisa, as many of you probably figured out by now. I'm also Akio, if I recall. It's been so long since we did an episode and did a recording. Keep in mind, we are planning on we do want to keep making episodes. We haven't gotten tired of making the show. We love making the show. It's always a lot of fun to do. It's just a matter of, like, we've got a lot of crap that we gotta do before, like, we get an episode, because, like, first we gotta write the script, then we have to modify it to make it more relevant and such, and then, like, after all that, we've got to pretty much, like, we've pretty much gotta, like, modify the script, and didn't I say it? Oh, then we gotta get all the voice actors together, ask them how they feel about it, and it's just a pain to do a lot of the time. Like, it's really, really aggravating to try to get everybody together at the same time, but it's a lot of fun to do. Like, we still have fun doing it, but we don't want to do it unless we're having fun doing it, because then it kind of produces, like, a really crappy episode. Like, and people don't want to sit there and see us do something just because we feel like we have to. We're like, oh, we haven't put out an episode in a long time, we might as well put one out. But and that's not the purpose of this series either, just for the record. A lot of people are probably thinking that this series is just kind of to fill the gap. We actually just started doing this, like, out of the fun of it, and we're probably going to keep doing it just out of the fun of it. And, like, this doesn't mean that, like, Clannad's going to get canceled and we're only going to do this now, and it doesn't mean that, you know, that this is going to become our primary focus, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to give this, you know, attention either. It's just easier to produce some Let's Play stuff. Other questions or possible thoughts. People probably wondering from the last video that Mark made, where he mentions, you know, that our videos have monetizing on them right now. If you have any questions regarding that, or, you know, any thoughts, which I don't know why you would, you'd want to direct them to him, because the account is registered in his name. And such. I basically just help control like some of the content on it, but all monetizing stuff goes to him, including my videos right here. But now a lot of you may be wondering, well, that's not fair. How come you don't get the money for it? Well, to be honest, it is his channel, and he's the one that got popular, like, with this channel and such. So it really wouldn't be fair of me to use his popularity to gain money. So if anything, I kind of like owe him for allowing me to be like in part of that spotlight for a little bit. So, you know, if anything, like, me allowing him to get monetary off my videos and such is kind of my way of saying thank you for not only everything that he's done and, you know, for the great videos he's produced and such, but just for being a good friend in the general. Like, I mean, a lot of you guys probably don't care about this, but, like, me and Mark have been friends for about, I don't know, I think it's, like, over 3 years now. Like, he was with me during some hard times in my life, and, which I'm not going to really go into detail because I don't like talking about myself, but... And he was also, like, he's also been, like, really true to me, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't really bullcrap me. And if anybody watches my videos at this point, you would know that the one thing I do not like is being bullshitted. I hate being bullshitted. I hate it when people try to feed me shit. I'm the kind of person where I'd rather somebody just give it to me straight and tell me how it's gonna be than just sit there and try to beat around the bush. I really can't stand it when people try to beat around the bush with me. So I gotta make myself another iron beaver chucker here, because I'm about to break one. Excuse me, I had a lot of soda. But no, basically though, Mark's kind of like been a pal to me for a long time, so if anything, this is kind of like my way of saying thank you to him for everything that he's done, really. I mean, he's done more for me than just, you know, than YouTube crap, but you guys probably won't see or hear about that. But no, we still do plan on making more Clannad. We love doing it, don't get me wrong. We love the fans, we love doing it. We're not making it just for the fans, though. We're making it for fun. Like, we're trying to have fun ourselves. And, like, that's the big thing, is we want to have fun as well. And if it's not fun for us, there's really little point in doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, we love it when people, like, watch our videos and stuff like that. But we make them, you know, for enjoyment. And, like, if we feel it's like a job or a chore, then, you know, it's not really worth it. But that and the content usually suffers if we try to force it. People were asking about the Bra Girl commentary, which I believe was answered in Mark's videos, but I'm going to go on the assumption that some of you may only watch my series or may only watch his series. I don't know, you know, but as Mark explained, I haven't read the rest of that Bra Girl thing. Like, I think we read like another chapter that we didn't upload. I don't know what has happened to it, because I wasn't the one recording it. It was him. Like, we read another chapter or some crap, and it was kind of as funny, but like after that first chapter, it's just not as funny after the first chapter, because like the initial shock of it's kind of over. But like the second chapter, it was kind of funny in comparison, but it wasn't like, you know, we didn't have the same kind of effect that we did on that first chapter. Like, we were really on fire with that first chapter. Some of you may also probably be complaining about the darkness in the mine areas in the videos. I assure you, it looks a lot brighter on my screen, and especially even when I render the video. It's like, when I upload it to YouTube, though, like, YouTube, like, has a problem with fucking with the coloration. So, it looks all kind of fucking dark and dismal, whatever the fuck, however you pronounce that word. And, like, there's really, like, little I can do about that. Like, I could lighten up the video, but then it just seems like... And then just, like, when I put it on YouTube, it just gets really bright. Like, then it decides not to do it. Like, I don't know. I think they have a feature on YouTube for fixing that now, but I can't be asked doing it. Keep in mind that uploading videos and stuff, for those of you who don't actually upload videos on YouTube and you're just watchers, it actually takes a pretty considerable amount of time. Like, for example, especially when you're trying to render in, like, high-quality video stuff, like, even these, which are only, like, in 480p. Well, what's 480p? Well, Jeremiah, shut up. I'm going to explain it. 480p is pretty much like DVD quality, which is, like, what these episodes are. Because I'd rather record them in 480 and have, like, smooth video stuff. Granted, my computer can handle, like, recording while running stuff in, like, full 1080 if I wanted. But I don't really see the point with Minecraft to make a huge, ridiculous file size for a game that's not going to look like much better. You know what I mean? But even those little 480p videos, like the first episode I uploaded was like 440 megabytes. But that's because I got like really good quality. Like the audio, like although the audio was quiet, it was still high quality and stuff because I had it set to high quality and stuff. But it takes a huge amount of fucking file space. That's the thing, especially when I do the recordings. Some of you may be asking, how do I record gameplay footage? Which is the question of the ages when it comes to Let's Plays. Is most people want to know, how do you record gameplay footage? How can I record out? You know, what is best recording software to use? Blah blah blah. Well, here is my answer to that, and my answer may be different from a lot of people's. I use Camtasia Studio 7. A software that actually came with a disc that I got for my computer and stuff. But my computer, though, runs it pretty well. But here's the thing, is it eats up a little bit more files, like it eats up a little bit more RAM and such. I heard the Mac version is a little bit lightweight, but I don't really know that very well. My ex-girlfriend used to use a Mac, and she used it, and she didn't seem to have many slowdowns with it. But that's, like I said, I think the Mac version's just, like, lighter weight, but it probably doesn't have as many features. I don't know, I didn't really touch it that much. But she seemed to have, like, pretty good quality with it. But, when it comes to using Camtasia, though, I use the PC version, obviously, because I'm a Windows guy. Yes, I know. Mac fags are going to be upset, whatever. I've just never really found a purpose for Macs. Like, if they weren't as locked down, I'd say they're actually pretty cool, but it's just a matter of, like, how ridiculously locked down they are. Like, it's as if, like, they don't want you to use them or something. It's like, oh, don't use this. It's a big secret, you know? But, it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I've memorized it. But it's more along the lines of, the fact that you need a pretty decent PC to, like, run a recording software and a game at the same time. Like, because it takes up a good amount of systems resources. Keep in mind, my computer is custom made. Like, I built it myself. I am using a Core i7. I believe it's an 870, but I've got it overclocked a pretty good amount. I believe I got it. Well, actually, not that much. Not as much as you think. I think it's an OC'd at 10%. I can't remember what I did, but so it runs about at 3.2 gigahertz, I think. But that's like more than I need, really. Like, I don't really need much more than that, at least not yet. The thing about overclocking is you generally don't want to overclock more than you need right away. Like, you want to if you want to overclock to get that performance boost, go for it. But, like, you don't want to overclock to, like, 50% or, like, 70% just because. Like, you actually want to wait till you legitimately need it. Like, 10% is pretty good. Like, you'd be surprised at how much of a performance increase you get just out of a 10% overclock. Like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but believe me, it's, like, way more than you're gonna need anytime soon. Let's put some light up in this bitch since we're getting some. But I use a Core i7. I have 8 gigabytes of RAM, DDR3 of course. I use G-Skills and 2 A-Datas just because I couldn't find any more A-Datas, so I went with G-Skill. But G-Skill is a pretty good brand too. For video cards, I actually have 2, but I've got only one in there right now. I have an an AMD Radeon 6850, which is what I used to use in a lot of my older videos, but now I'm using an NVIDIA GTX 560 Ti super overclock, which you can only really get for, I believe, from the Gigabyte enclosure, and I think you can get it with the Sapphire one. I don't remember. That would be a question for Mark if you want to ask him that. But basically, for those who don't understand a word I'm saying, it pretty much means that I built my computer myself, and it's really powerful. And you need a fairly powerful computer to run recording software and intensive games. And Minecraft's not that intensive, but it uses up a lot of fucking RAM. But, as many of you know. But it's more of a matter of... oh, there's my phone, sorry. But it's more of a matter that you need like a pretty decent computer, and like that's basically the only thing I can tell you is that you need a really good computer to be able to record and run intensive game at the same time. I would not recommend it on a laptop. Mark uses Fraps, obviously, as he's pointed out, but I don't use Fraps simply because I don't really feel the need for it. The only real advantage of Fraps, though, is that you can record like DirectX. And like if you're not using Fraps, what you have to do is you have to basically record in windowed mode, because basically DirectX like kind of has like its own layer. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically Fraps is like one of the only recorders I know of that can record the DirectX layer without it being in windowed mode. But the only downside is that the file size for Fraps is ridiculous, and as far as I know, I have not really found a way to reduce the file size when recording. What Mark does, I believe he mentioned, is he cuts it down, like, significantly. Oh, there's something over here. But yeah, he cuts down the file size when he's recording, and that's fine, you know. But I just use Camtasia. Like, it gets the job done. I don't really see any need for anything else. Like I can run like StarCraft 2 on this with like Camtasia and not see like any slowdown. It seems though Minecraft is like the only thing that wants to ever slow down. Like whenever I'm doing anything, it's like Minecraft is just like a RAM hog. Like it just eats RAM for a living. RAM is like its arch nemesis, and it will devour that shit. It's like, RAM, prepare to die. Oh, there's something up here. There's some iron. I have a bad habit of every time I see ore, like, I just want to start mining it. Like, even if I don't really fucking need it, it's just like a habit of mine. I just want to mine all the ore in this game. Get up there. Get up there and get that ore, bitch. But, probably because I use up the iron pretty quickly, but as you can tell, I kind of just, like, mine, and then, you know, then I go and start building shit. Like, I try to make sure I have, like, more than I need before I even start, and then even that I don't have enough. Like, I've already almost broken this pickaxe. Fortunately, I found some more iron to replace it, though. So, other questions and such. If you want to leave your questions and get them answered in this series, every now and then I might do a video like this, or I might do a little section in the video where I answer questions. You can totally leave them in the comments. You can send them to us. You know, whatever. Now, a lot of you may be asking, how come you don't hear from me that often in these videos, which I know a lot of you probably don't give a shit. But here's the thing. I do a lot of other stuff besides Team K, and I'm not really trying to advertise it or anything. But just to give you an idea of like what I do, I also, as many of you have probably already figured out by now, I am a brony and Mark is not. So don't send him like brony shit. He's just gonna piss him off. He's not one of those people that hates the fandom. It's just like he just doesn't like want to be a part of it, and it just kind of bothers him when people try to force it on him. Which rightfully so. You shouldn't like sit there and force stuff on people. But because of that though, I do a couple of pony related projects. One of which is I do a thing called Miss Subs. We actually make subtitles for the MLP episodes. If you even give a shit about that, you know, you can look it up. But I do Miss Subs, but we try to translate stuff into every language and all that crap. Like it's more or less just, you know, something I do on the side, you know, besides this. And I help operate in a couple of pony sites. Some of you may actually know me from a couple of pony sites that I'm on. But that, and I have like a life outside of this. Like I've got other stuff that I do. You know, it's just, you know, I have a lot going on. You know, it's just, I don't usually have one thing going on at a time, you know what I mean? I usually got like 20, because that's part of just what I do. Another thing is people ask me, like, what other kind of games do I play? Unlike Mark, who has kind of moved into more casual gaming, which I'd still say that I'm fairly casual, because I'm not like one of those people like, oh, play to win, MLG, gotta be pro. I don't like play like Call of Duty or any of that. I do like some of my favorite games. Borderlands was one of my favorites. I really like RPGs, but I've kind of like moved away from the traditional like Japanese RPG styles. Like besides Chrono Trigger, I loved Chrono Trigger, but I really wish they would give it a proper remake. You know, anybody that's watching, if you have the power to make a proper Chrono Trigger remake, please do so. I will thank you. I will thank you many. But no, I like playing Borderlands. It was my favorite, one of my favorite games. I like some shooters, but I prefer cooperative games rather than competitive. Like I feel that competitive is basically just like, let's see who has the biggest penis, and everybody's just kind of waving their prick around, being like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna have the biggest dick ever. But you know, so I don't play games like Call of Duty and stuff. But I don't really waste my time hating on them and stuff, though, because, like, although a lot of games are trying to be Call of Duty clones and stuff like that, like, I don't waste my time hating on them because, basically, think of it like this. Every time you tell somebody, you know, how much you hate something that they like, it's only gonna make them get defensive and not think about what you're saying. So, like, you're just really just gonna make them want to like it more than actually less, so you're really not doing it. You're not really hindering their affection towards it. You're actually just making it stronger, so you're just kind of being a douche. But like, I just kind of see it as like, I'll play my game, you play your game. I do play some games that I guess people would consider hardcore, and some games I've kind of weaned away. I used to play RuneScape a lot in the day. Yes, you can call me a fag now. In fact, I encourage it. But another thing is, a lot of you may notice we do a lot of, you know, saying fag back and forth and stuff like that. Neither of us are homophobic, just so you know. It's just kind of like a joke that we do. Like, it's we kind of see it as like, you know, everybody can laugh at everybody else, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna go up to like gay people and be like, oh, you're a fag, get the fuck out of my shit. Actually, most of my friends are either gay or bi, and, you know, like, it's kind of funny. But I have this one friend who's gay, and every time like somebody says fag and apologizes around him, he just goes, "Oh no, I'm offended by a word that I'm giving all the power to that doesn't affect me in the slightest," you know. And he calls himself a fag and stuff like that. And it's more or less just something that's a little bit more accepted. Granted, yes, I understand it can still be offensive, but you know, it's I've gotten to the point where like I'm comfortable with myself, and other people are usually comfortable with themselves. And usually the people that I say it to understand that I mean no malice by it. Oh, gonna get that. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that people do nowadays, which like I said, doesn't make it any more right, but you know. But yeah, we don't hate on, you know, we don't really hate on anybody in this thing. I mean, I know, you know, we make it look like we do in our series, but like I said, keep in mind, guys, that series is meant for pure like satire and fun. Like, it's not meant to be taken super serious. We've even had people that have complained that like we were like ripping on Clannad and like that it was bad, like we hated Clannad. But Clannad is actually like one of both of our favorite animes out there, really. Oh my god. But yeah, any other questions you guys have, feel free to leave them in the comments, you know, or, you know, on Mark's videos. You know, I'll find them one way or another, is my point. I'll find them. You know, whether you want me to or not, I'll get to them. I'll rip them a new asshole. Oh, my fucking beaver chucker's broken. Oh, this is less than ideal. Oh, also, some of you may have noticed how the audio on the other videos was a little bit quiet. I think it was something to do with my mic settings. I believe I've corrected the problem. Should be, you know, pretty good. But this episode's probably not as entertaining as the other ones because it was more just less me just rambling. But nonetheless, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. And, you know, I'm going to upload it anyways. Because fuck you, I can do what I want. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. But yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure people are going to be, you know, I'm pretty sure people are going to enjoy this episode, at least a little bit, for the informative part of it. But, like I said, I can't really give you any promises on when the next Clannad's coming. I don't know. We're going to try and set up a time where me and Mark can get together and just kind of, like, do that episode. Like, we're going to try to set up a time. You know, hopefully we'll talk about it this week, and then we'll get some plans going. I can't promise that it'll happen this week, you know, but I can promise that we'll try to get some plans together and start talking about it and see, you know, what we can come up with. Because keep in mind, we also got to come up with jokes and everything, and it's not as easy as it looks. Trust me. Like, we make it look like it's so easy, but making those episodes really, like, it takes a lot out of you to make those episodes and such. And trust, like us, and like Mark kind of mentioned in our other videos, is we don't really get paid to do this, and it does eat up like a lot of our time. So like, it, you know, we try to focus on, you know, what's gonna make, you know, make it so that we can live, you know, so we can eat tomorrow. But yeah, if you have any other comments, be it about, you know, Clannad, be it about, you know, Minecraft, this series, Mark's series, anything like that, what I'm building here, you know, or, you know, just in general, feel free to leave them in the comments of either this channel, or either on the channel, send them a message. I don't care how they get to me. I'll find them one way or another. You can't hide them from me. Sorry. But yeah, feel free to do that. And I'd say that about wraps up this episode. So see you guys very, very soon. And this episode was longer than the other one. Look at that. And have a good one.